going to go into a two-part series dealing with alignments for a semi-tractor. So, in dealing with an alignment, the alignment is very important because it directly affects your tires, and your tires have a direct effect on your fuel. And so if you are affecting your fuel by basically having to have too much drag on your tires, your tires are wearing out, your truck isn't rolling right, you're going to start eating up a lot of that fuel. So in order to balance that kind of fuel economy for your vehicle, you're going to want to align your wheels to make sure everything is straight. Now there are several different methods in order to do an alignment. You have one that's based off the geometry of the vehicle, such as your frame. So you would align all the axles in accordance to your frame. There's also one that just deals with the center line of your vehicle and aligning that way. Now, you would go with the center line alignment if you might have had a problem with your frame. But if your frame has never been in an accident and you've never had anything really bad happen to your vehicle, you want to go ahead and use your frame for the alignment. So with that, we're going to do an alignment based off the frame. But first, before you do an alignment, you're actually going to want to do a pre-alignment inspection. That entails quite a few things. What we're going to do is when we start a pre-alignment inspection, we're going to first make sure we have the service manual for the vehicle, because you're going to reference the service manual after you do a lot of your when you're doing your inspection and you start to get the numbers, you want to compare those numbers against the reference manual. The service manual. And so first you're going to start off, you're going to bring the vehicle in, you probably want to put it on a rack. What you kind of want to do is you want the truck to roll to a stop versus putting on the brake. Basically, that's because when you apply a brake on a truck, you get that lurch, that tightens up everything. And when you're doing a rolling stop, as the truck rolls to the stop, it's still settled as if the truck is driving or is going to drive. So all the wheels, everything will be in the alignment that it has been as if you've been driving down the road. After you've gotten your rolling stop, you want to make sure that you apply the chocks and that you don't have any parking brake set on the vehicle, because again, you do not want to affect anything else in your adjustment. So after you do that, you're going to go around and you're going to check tire pressure, because tire pressure, of course, you want the tire pressure to be optimal. Now, there is tire pressure listed on the sides of the tires. That is not the tire pressure that you are going to use. You want to use the manufacturer's spec tire pressure. The tire can be used on many different vehicles. It's going to have a max load number and a minimum load number, cold, hot. So those aren't the numbers that you're going to go by. There's a manufacturer spec that basically the manufacturer and the tire company got together and they said this is going to get the best fuel economy at this tire pressure for this tire size on this particular truck. So you want to get that matched up and find that tire size or that tire pressure for that tire size, and you want to go around and inspect your tires. So you're going to inspect your tires for tire pressure and tire size. You're going to want to check tread depth, because that of course is going to affect your tire size. So you want to be within that 30 second, within the 30 seconds range. That tire is going low, you're going to start losing the tire height. It's going to directly affect the fuel mileage. So after you go and you inspect the tires, then you're going to go into checking your ride height. And on every different truck, that's going to be different ways. We're going to go over that. On the particular truck that I'll be going over is going to be a Peterbilt car hauler. It's going to have a low air leaf system, and so we'll go over where to check that from, what the manufacturer spec is for that. Then after ride height, you're going to check into steering play to see how much the steering wheel turns before it actually starts to affect the steering tires. Then you'll go into an inspection of all the suspension components and the steering components, because you want to know where all this is at. You know, you might want to spot a problem if there's cracks, if there's elongated lines, if, you know, whatnot. What's going on with the vehicle before you mess with anything, because having that knowledge before you go into trying to set your alignment, you're going to know if it's going to stay, if there's a problem you need to deal with first. So you're going to want to deal with that. And then from there, we'll get into pretty much once you've gathered all that data and compared to what it needs, you know, what the manufacturer spec is, you're going to take that information into the basically the alignment when you're actually going to do the alignment. And so for this first part of the video, I'm going to go through and we're going to do pretty much the pre-inspection and show you where to look, kind of the things to look for and whatnot. So why don't you come with me and let's get started. So I went ahead and I chose the 98 Peterbilt. This particular truck is one of the ones we have a lot. When we get started, I'm going to use the rack, that way I can better get under the vehicle. So I went ahead, I chopped the tires, it's brought up on the rack. From here, I'm going to lift it up, or I'll be able to lift it up so I can check underneath the suspension and whatnot, and do my tricks from there. Okay. So we're going to get up inside the truck before we hoist it up on the rack, because there's two things we still have to do that we want to do before we get it hoisted up. One is we're going to measure for steering wheel free play. So these numbers are based off of the size of the steering wheel. So we have a tape measure here. We're going to measure the diameter. It looks like we're sitting at an 18-inch steering wheel. Now, according to the chart that I got, showing 18-inch steering wheel, or 46 centimeters, is going to have, with a power steering system, is going to have a 7 1/8 inch play or more. So that's going to be the play going side to side. So basically we're going to take a measurement of that, so the free play. So the free play is basically the steering wheel's movement before it actually starts taking effect on the steering tire. So how much play or how much give it is that there is in the steering wheel before the steer tires start to move, before it has that effect on them. So we're going to take that. Then once we're done taking that, we're going to go ahead and start up the truck, and we're going to let the air system fill up all the airbags and get this to its ride height, its normal ride height. And then we'll go out and take the ride height measurement. So that's what we'll be doing first. So let's go ahead and I'll take care of that, and then we'll go down there and measure ride height after I start it up. So here I am, I'm going around, I'm checking all the tire pressures, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the tire pressures and make any needed adjustments as I go around. Basically comparing it to what manufacturer spec is, and then setting the tire pressure to that particular tire. Also, while I'm going around, I'm going to inspect my tires. I'm going to look for, you know, any kind of wear pattern that may signify what may be already going on. I'm going to look for any shoulder wear on the tire, or any feathering that might be going on, or even bald spots or anything to show that the suspension may be acting up, because this is a definite sign that you are going to need an alignment, or one is way overdue. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on checking these tires and compare it to that air pressure. Now with the airbags all raised up, the next thing we're going to check for is ride height. Now on this particular truck, the manufacturer wants the measurement to be done from the bottom of the frame to the midpoint on the tire, right at the center axle. Now when I looked up the spec said it should be at 8.75, but that does vary between when the truck has been made. For this particular truck, it's between 8.75 and 8.50. So after you've done ride height, check the tires, check for steering wheel play, the next thing to do is to inspect the suspension. You want to get down here and basically you're looking for to make sure that suspension is properly hooked up. You're looking for cracks in leaf springs, airbags that may be leaking or have gashes. You're looking for elongated holes, just rust and things that are out of place that shouldn't be that way. You want to make sure that if you have grease fittings on your suspension, that they're properly greased and they're receiving grease properly. So while you're inspecting all this, this is basically to pre-note before you do your final alignment, anything that you need to take into account for it. Because if the alignment is out of whack, it could be for something that's broken, busted, rusted, out of place. So you really want to look at this stuff really well and check it. You know, you're going to feel it while you're driving too a little bit, you know, if you're having to hold the wheel over, but you want to get down and look and make sure that everything is seated properly. You know, when you're looking at the leaf springs and you see the U-bolts coming over, if you see where the U-bolts and the saddle and everything has moved over, then you know that that main bolt is broken and that everything is shifted, so you're going to have a thrust problem. So, you know, there's things like that that you're looking for. You'll notice where, you know, you'll see rust in one area, but it'll be clean in another. Something's shifted, something's moved. So you're looking for that kind of stuff. And overall, again, anytime you're looking at your vehicle, you don't want to have blinders on and just focus on that. You want to look at that, but you also want to look at any other things that may be happening, because when it all boils down to preventative maintenance, you know, your eye catching something is basically going to help you out in the long run. So we're going to go ahead and keep on inspecting everything here. So once you're done with your pre-inspection and you have everything noted, you want to go ahead and fix anything that needs to be taken